Breaking news that's shaking the foundation of retirement for millions of Americans. Is Social Security about to undergo its biggest transformation since its inception in 1935? Picture this, an $8,000 law increase that could change lives, or a complete system overhaul that might reshape retirement as we know it. Today, we're diving deep into what 2026 holds for Social Security recipients. And trust me, you won't want to miss a single minute of this video. Before we jump into these critical updates that could affect your retirement, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. You'll want to stay informed about every Social Security change coming your way. Drop a comment below sharing your thoughts on these potential changes, and let's build a community of informed citizens. The rumors have been swirling, and the tension is mounting. Will Social Security recipients see an unprecedented $8,000 law increase in 2026? Or are we heading toward a massive program overhaul that could fundamentally change how benefits are calculated and distributed? These aren't just hypothetical questions, they're real possibilities that could affect over 70 million Americans who depend on Social Security benefits. Let's address the elephant in the room. Why are we even discussing such dramatic changes? The answer lies in the perfect storm of economic factors that have been brewing since 2024, with inflation rates continuing to challenge traditional economic models and the trust fund facing increasing pressure. Lawmakers are being forced to consider bold solutions. But what does this mean for you, the beneficiary? The $8,000 law increase scenario isn't just a random number pulled from thin air. It's based on complex economic projections and the unprecedented inflation rates we've been experiencing. Remember when we thought the 2024 law increase was substantial? Well, economists are now suggesting that might have been just the beginning. But here's the question that keeps many awake at night. Can the Social Security system sustain such a significant increase? To understand the possibility of this massive law increase, we need to look at the factors driving it. The post-pandemic economy has continued to evolve in ways few predicted. Supply chain issues, global political tensions, and domestic policy changes have all contributed to persistent inflation. But here's what's different about 2026. We're seeing a unique combination of wage growth and consumer price increases that could justify such a substantial adjustment. But there's another side to this coin, the massive program overhaul. Some lawmakers and economic experts argue that simply increasing law isn't enough. They're pushing for a complete restructuring of how Social Security operates. What would this mean? It could involve changes to the retirement age, modifications to how benefits are calculated, and even alterations to the payroll tax structure that funds the program. Let's talk about the numbers that are causing such concern. The Social Security Trust Fund's trajectory has become increasingly worrisome. Without significant changes, projections show the fund could face serious challenges by the early 2030s. This reality is forcing policymakers to consider options they might have dismissed just a few years ago. But here's the crucial question. Which approach would better serve beneficiaries in the long run? The proposed $8,000 law increase would be life-changing for many recipients. Imagine what this could mean for the average beneficiary who currently receives around $1,800 monthly. We're talking about an increase that could help seniors keep pace with rising healthcare costs, housing expenses, and daily living necessities. But is it sustainable? That's where the debate gets interesting. Critics of the massive law increase argue that while it would provide immediate relief, it might accelerate the depletion of the trust fund. They suggest that a more comprehensive overhaul could ensure the program's longevity while still protecting beneficiaries. But what would this overhaul actually look like? The proposed program overhaul includes several key components that could reshape Social Security as we know it. One major consideration is adjusting the full retirement age to account for increased life expectancy. Another is modifying how benefits are calculated, potentially using a different index for cost of living adjustments. That some argue would better reflect seniors' actual spending patterns. But here's what many aren't talking about: the potential impact on different generations. How would these changes affect current retirees versus those still in the workforce? Would the massive law increase create an unsustainable burden on younger workers? Or would the program overhaul unfairly disadvantage current beneficiaries? The political landscape surrounding these potential changes is complex and constantly evolving. Both Democrats and Republicans recognize the need for action. But their approaches differ significantly. Some advocate for the immediate relief of the law increase, while others push for long-term structural changes. The question is, can a compromise be reached that serves all Americans? Let's look at how these changes might affect different groups of beneficiaries. For those living primarily on Social Security income, the $8,000 law increase could mean the difference between struggling to make ends meet and having a more comfortable retirement. But for future retirees, the program overhaul might offer better long-term security, even if the immediate benefits aren't as dramatic. Another crucial factor to consider is the impact on disabled beneficiaries and survivors who rely on Social Security. How would either approach, the law increase or the program overhaul, affect these vulnerable populations? The answers aren't simple, but they're essential to understanding the full scope of these potential changes. The international perspective adds another layer to this discussion. Other countries have faced similar challenges with their retirement systems. What can we learn from their experiences? Some nations have successfully implemented gradual changes to their Social Security programs, while others have opted for more dramatic overhauls. Which path should the United States follow? The timing of these potential changes is also crucial. Why 2026? The answer lies in a combination of demographic shifts, economic projections, and political realities. The baby boomer generation continues to retire in large numbers, placing increased strain on the system. Meanwhile, workforce demographics are shifting, affecting the worker-to-beneficiary ratio that's so crucial to Social Security's funding model. The impact on the broader economy can't be ignored either. A significant increase in Social Security benefits would mean more spending power for millions of Americans, potentially stimulating local economies. However, the funding required for such an increase could affect other aspects of the economy, including wage growth and job creation. How do we balance these competing interests? Healthcare costs are another crucial factor in this equation. Medical expenses continue to rise faster than general inflation, particularly for seniors. How would either approach, the law increase or the program overhaul, address this ongoing challenge? The answer could determine the real-world impact of these changes on beneficiaries' quality of life. Let's also consider the role of supplemental retirement savings. With potential changes to Social Security on the horizon, how should current workers adjust their retirement planning? Should they be more aggressive with their personal savings, or can they count on Social Security to provide adequate support in retirement? The debate over means testing has also entered the conversation. Should higher income beneficiaries receive the same law increases as those with lower incomes? How would means testing affect the political viability of either approach? These questions highlight the complexity of reforming a program that serves such a diverse population. One often overlooked aspect is the impact on state and local economies. Social Security benefits play a crucial role in many communities, particularly in rural areas and small towns. How would these different approaches affect local economic stability? The answers could influence which path policymakers ultimately choose. The role of private sector employers adds another dimension to this discussion. How would either approach affect employer-sponsored retirement plans? Would companies adjust their benefits in response to significant changes in Social Security? These considerations could have far-reaching implications for retirement planning. As we look toward 2026, the urgency of addressing Social Security's challenges becomes increasingly clear. But the question remains, which path will better serve both current and future beneficiaries? The $8,000 law increase offers immediate relief, but may not address long-term sustainability. The program overhaul could ensure long-term viability, but might require difficult adjustments in the short term. Public opinion will play a crucial role in determining which approach prevails. Recent polls show Americans deeply divided on how to address Social Security's challenges. What factors are shaping these opinions, and how might they influence political decision-making? Understanding these dynamics is crucial for predicting which changes are most likely to be implemented. The implementation timeline for either approach would be critical. How quickly could the $8,000 law increase be rolled out? What kind of transition period would be needed for a program overhaul? These practical considerations could significantly impact which option is ultimately chosen. As we've explored today, the future of Social Security stands at a crossroads. Whether through an $8,000 law increase or a comprehensive program overhaul, significant changes appear inevitable. The key is staying informed and engaged in this crucial debate that will affect millions of Americans' retirement security. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for the latest updates on Social Security changes. Share this video with friends and family who need to stay informed about these potential changes. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you favor the law increase or the program overhaul? Your voice matters in this important discussion. Until next time, stay informed and plan wisely for your future.